Hello, my name is Angie Wade, and you are watching a common canvas, which is an artist collaboration with several of us artists doing a pumpkin palooza. So my name is Angie Wade, and my business is called Artsy Adventures with Angie. You can find me here on YouTube as Artsy Adventures with Angie, and we're going to get started. So this is my version for a collaboration of a pumpkin, and this is a 12 by 16 stretch canvas. We are going to paint in acrylics, and I'm going to show you step by step how to paint this. Some parts might be fast forwarded just for time purposes, and so enjoy everyone here that's going to be here on this playlist and on this collaboration of artists. So my version is going to be an impressionistic style brushing. So how I'm going to start the background is we're going to go ahead and take our white and our black and our nutmeg brown. And you know, I might just go ahead and add that bright yellow that I talked about, just to give it a little interest. These are all acrylic paints that I'm using. I have my water, and we're going to get started with our big brush here. Have your artist rag ready, and always wear an apron to protect your clothes. So I'm going to dip that brush in some water. And then we're going to go ahead, and I like to do always two colors on a background, but here we want some a gray tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some white and some black, so we can go ahead and create a kind of a grayish neutral tone. I might add a little bit of hint of this brown. Just kind of add a little bit more white. And just in a crisscross pattern, I'm going to go ahead and start from one corner. And I'm literally going to do this very fast, and I might fast forward this part as I'm painting it. And don't forget that you are dealing with a stretch canvas. And you're going to use the side of your brush to go around and curve around that stem just like that. And I want to stop here so that this way I can go ahead and fast forward this. So what I want to do here as interest, and let me just keep adding here to this side of the pumpkin. And then we're going to continue the rest all the way around and then towards the end of where this line of the table ends. But to add interest onto this gray background, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little bit of brown and a little bit of white. And we're going to add that brown and white mixture while the gray is still nice and fresh. So now this kind of brings down that gray color. Just by adding some some little bit of mix of that nutmeg brown. Now you're adding a hint of yellow in between. And then you could keep adding white. So the more you keep mixing, the more you're going to change the colors and give it that impressionistic movement of a background. And just gonna keep adding, lights, parts of the pattern in the white. You can keep adding white and the brown, or lighter shades of gray. And so that is a little bit of a taste of how you're gonna see it. And we're gonna go ahead and fast forward this part. And what we're going to do is we're going to start from dark to light on our stem. So I'm going to start with just that nutmeg brown. And we're going to start with our dark areas. So we want to get right in there with that groove of the base of the stem. And we're going to continue that upward about, I want to say about halfway. And then I'm going to just add that brown here where I made these lines. And we're going to fill this in just that nutmeg brown. I want to create some good shadowing. So we're just going to put all the dark areas first to kind of end right there when it curves. And as far as under the stem, because it's curved, create that little shadow underneath. Okay, and then just maybe outline a little bit on that line. So while this is now wet, I'm going to grab my black and mix it with my brown. So now we have a muddy, much darker brown. And we're going to go over that existing brown. And we're like creating that a more muddy brown. Just like that. Okay. So I want to switch back to my liner brush. And we're going to grab that and we're going to keep going. That black and brown mixture. Go a little bit darker, you can. And then we're going to go here just a bit darker. Okay, and then we do have that little bit of that crease there. And we're just doing it like that. Just trying to get all the dark shadows first. Just like that, okay? Once we've done that, just like that, we're gonna go right into the light area. So now I'm going to wash that brush. We're gonna go and introduce that light mocha that I was talking about. Just a little bit. And with just the light mocha, I want to bring in the light areas of the stem. So you do want to kind of do it as the dark areas are still wet, so you can have a nice blend between the two colors. So blended stem. And what we're going to do with that stem, now that we have it in that light mocha color, Okay, so now we used that nutmeg brown to go ahead and with our liner brush outline all the bones and put a little bit of darkness towards the bottom, and the same thing right here. Okay, once we have done that, we're now going to go ahead and take our regular round brush. This is a 10 round, so it's a little bit slightly on the medium. It's a little bit of a bigger size round brush. So what we want to do here is now we want to take out our antique white. It is an antique white by Apple Barrel. And as you can see, and I'm going to add a little bit more white here, you can definitely see the difference between the antique white and the white, bright white. So I'm going to start with that antique white. I'm going to start with the biggest area that we have here, and just sort of from that inner corner, and I'm just going to take that antique white and just go ahead and fill it with that antique white, just like that. Now you could see the difference between the antique white and the regular white. But we're not quite done because we want to add some character to this pumpkin. So now with that, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of this antique white and a little hint of black, more antique white, and some nutmeg brown. And maybe a little bit more white. And let's put some linen in there. Let's put a little yellow in there. And this is what I call a muddied up color. I'm going to add a little bit more antique white. So it starts to turn into a new color. So it's almost like a muddied up grayish, kind of brownish. And what I want to do is I want to add basically texture. So I'm just sort of going to do like little taps here on the bones. And then as I'm going to do that, I'm going to take a tissue and I'm just going to press and sort of press and twist. Just like that. And that creates, I don't know if you could see it, that area, that shadow there. And we're going to do the same. So let me go ahead and turn this sideways so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to do that again. We're going to kind of just add some, it's almost like adding shadows into that pumpkin. And as it's still wet, I'm going to go ahead and press and twist. Okay. And that just creates now a whole texture to that pumpkin. And if you're not satisfied, remember, all you got to do is wait for this to dry or blow dry it when you're not happy with that, with the way that came out, or that particular, you could just wait for it to dry and then go ahead and add more antique white to your pumpkin in order to come up with that area. So all I'm doing is adding almost like a texture. And remember, the light source is coming from this angle. And as it gets closer to the bottom, it's always going to look a little darker. So I'm just going to press and twist. Just rolled up paper towel. Everybody has a different technique. You could use a sponge brush for this if you like. And I'm just going to continue tapping with whatever is left of that mixture, of that kind of muddied up mixture. And we're going to do one more here. Really, really dark. It starts to get on the side. And just like that. And again, just our paper towel. Press and twist. I'm using kind of my nail to get a little bit over, and you just kind of want to blend that in there just like that. I'm just kind of press and twist, press and twist. Okay, so that kind of adds our character to our pumpkin there. So see how now it went from a solid antique white to that color. And we can always go back while this paint is still wet. I'm gonna wipe this off my brush, and just with the antique white, I can always go back and add that white wherever there was spots that I'm like, oh, you know, I kind of like this a little bit more lighter. Whoops, sorry, I had too much white there. And I am just tapping with my finger. But tapping with my finger does not give me the same effect I did with that other area. So we're just going to I want to go ahead and make sure, actually let me get with just the white and make sure that I have my highlight where I want my highlight. So just using the white, I'll know where I want that highlight to be or captured in the picture. So there you go. You have those two now in there. And now all we got to do is add our lovely table and shadows. So this makes it a really nice, we're going to go with the similar colors that we had in our background. Now for this, I am actually going to go and use my liner brush just to kind of get into a black and white muddied up area of a black, white, and muddy brown. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to just go ahead and outline the top of that table. Don't forget your sides, as if the table is wrapping all around, just like that. And then with that said, I'm going to go and get some antique white. We're going to go around this pumpkin and the shadow in between both pumpkins. And that's really what I'm doing. I'm just going to go right around technically the shadow, just like so. Just like that. And we're sort of like we're outlining. It's really what we're doing. And we're just going to go right around just like that. Okay? So, that's what we're doing. Now I'm going to put that in my cup. And then I'm going to go ahead and now just grab antique white. I'm going to add to that grayish mixture. And I want to now brush straight across. So it looks like a table. So it looks like we're on a table. And
I'm just going to fill that in. Don't forget your sides. I'm going to go back, put that down, and I'm going to do my sides. Just like that. Just dipping it in that grayish, black, and white. Of course, anytime you paint with acrylics, and you want to be, of course, professional, always make sure you gesso your work. Use the gesso before painting, in case I forgot to tell you that step. And that is what we're doing. We're just now adding our colors here to the side. And we're just doing like a second coat. So the table here, I am doing it in almost similar colors. Now I'm going to add a little bit of brown. So it gives it more of, it's a table. And I'm just going to blend that in. It just gives it nice contrast. Again, this is like an impressionistic type of background, type of painting. And now with that, we're going to go right into that medium round brush. I'm going to grab this black and a little bit of brown mixture. And right where I had that dark area, we're going to go ahead and fill that. And fill that in kind of a blackish brown mixture. Now if it comes out too black, all you got to do is add brown on top. And it tones it down a bit. And there's my white line. Just going to now finish this. So I hope that everyone enjoyed or is enjoying
this YouTube collaboration of artists collaborating with it's called the Common Canvas. So continue, make sure you add us to your playlist, and you are able to then re-watch us anytime you like. It is the Pumpkin Palooza theme. So if all goes well with this collaboration, then that is excellent, because we might just keep bringing you more content like this, which makes me wonder if we've already done pumpkins. Ooh, what could be our next theme? So let us know in the comments if there's a particular theme that you would love to see in our next event, if there is a next event. Of course, that all depends on you, the viewer. So my name is Angie. Make sure that you continue to watch all the presenters here in this Pumpkin Palooza, as we're all showing you different painting techniques and basically, you know, painting techniques and using probably different mediums. Everyone's doing different things. And that is why I wanted to show you the best way to paint a white pumpkin. So here is the shadow. I'm going to sit this up so you can see. So it almost has a form of realism. Really simple, really easy. You could see the tones in the background. Now what I would do is use a fine liner brush to just fill in with that background color really closely mixed in, so this way you don't see any of that white area. So I hope you enjoyed this. Continue to watch each and every one of us here at the Common Canvas. My name is Angie with Artsy Adventures with Angie, so please make sure that you also like, subscribe to my channel called Artsy Adventures with Angie, and also keep us in your playlist. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed.